Okay, then thank you. Next item, assessment cycle update. Okay.
I'm going to review what we are going to be doing in the next few months. We are in the testing season. And basically what we have the graduation right before spring break. But after that, we are moving everything toward the end of school. And I know this looks like a lot, but not every student takes this. We have the graduation exam, which is being phased out. Any student that's entered school 2010, 2011, they have to do the graduation exam, but it will be basically next year will probably be our last year to do the graduation exam. This year, access is a requirement for ELL students. We give roughly 1,000 of those tests. Alternative assessment is the alternative assessment for students that cannot take the regular assessments, and you can see those are in April, like access for ELLs is April 1st through May 3rd. And again, that test takes about 2 days to give it, not the full day. They do a speaking section, and then they do a writing section, and then they do a other group test. The alternative assessment is really not a test. It's a portfolio pulling materials together. Then we go to our ACT end of course, and the state of Alabama is giving English 9, 10, Algebra 1, and Geometry. And remember, we wrote a waiver last year, so these tests will not hurt our students, but if they get a score, what I submitted in the waiver, they will get credit for the diploma, for the graduation diploma. So those 11th and 12th graders, it's either or. We can use their end of course scores to cover their diploma requirements for a graduation exam.
Kathy, while you're on this topic, you know, there's this bill that's still under debate down in Montgomery about Common Core standards, and the key word in Quality Core is core. These assessments are fully aligned with the Common Core, and there's a great deal of rigor in them. And so if the state took a direction other than parallel with the Common Core, that would upend this sequence of testing we're actually undertaking in a matter of months. So our kids have been brought to this standard this year. We're working towards it. Our teachers are working towards it. And that would be a massive step backwards for this school system. What we will have learned is never get ahead in Alabama. We're working pretty hard to get our kids launched into the future. And so I think the state is going to take about 5 years to work in all these assessments. We're prepared this year to begin working them in, so our kids have that option. They're working to that level of rigor. And so this system's moving pretty quickly to move our kids to the national standards. And a step away from this, and certainly one that would preclude us from keeping data, as that law would, or that would preclude us from aligning with the Common Core, would undo all this work and undoubtedly millions of dollars investments we've already made in teacher development, preparing for these assessments, training. Of course, the other key word in there is ACT. To get on to college in this area of the country, you take the ACT, and when you look at the ACT, components of that are 100% aligned with the Common Core. The minimal alignment is 66%. So if we're off training, educating our children to some standard other than the Common Core, I just don't understand that when we're trying to get our kids ready to pass the ACT and get great scores to get into college. It makes no sense to head in one direction and then give us our kids a test that heads them in the exact opposite direction. So none of this debate about moving away from Common Core makes any sense to me. Makes no sense economically either, because whatever we do that's unique to us, we're going to have to pay for as a state. And right here, the Quality Core, the ACT, Common Core materials, those costs are spread by those that develop them across 47 states. Alabama doesn't have enough money right now to educate our kids the way we need to, and I certainly don't want to divert any money to creating some kind of a unique Alabama curriculum that wouldn't align with college readiness, things businessmen have told us kids need to know, assessments we know are going to incorporate a lot more rigor, and things we've already made investments in to help move education forward. So these assessments here are entirely part of that Common Core debate.